Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with KeepInkingUp.com. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to share how I store my dies. Whenever I purchase a bundle, I store my dies in two different ways. First of all, I do want to remind you that whenever we offer a bundle, you do save 10% versus ordering the items individually. But I do want to remind you that that bundle price is only offered when the products are brand new in a catalog. So for example, if the products go on to be available in the next catalog, the following catalog, that bundle price will not exist, even though the items may be available for purchase. So if you do see a bundle that you like, I do recommend that you get it in order to get that 10% savings. I like to save wherever I can, so I want to pass that along to you and remind you of that. So anyway, whenever I purchase a bundle, this happens to be the Painted Poppies bundle, most of the time, I would say probably at least maybe 90 or 95% of the time, I store my coordinating dies in the same case with the stamp set. So here's the Painted Poppies stamp set, and then I store the dies in the case with the stamps. Now this is a magnetic sheet. I have an example here. This I made using my Xyron machine. I've had my Xyron machine forever, and this uses I think it's called a magnetic and laminate cartridge in it. So one side is magnet and the other side is laminate. So I just use some old Designer Series paper that I have, and I make my magnetic sheets that I use to put inside my stamp cases. Now, the magnetic side is what you need to put the dies on. If you put the dies on the other side, they don't stick, they just fall right off. So you do need to put your die on the black side. So even though I have this really cute paper, I can't see it, but it's on the back side. And that's just a way for me to be able to know how to cut my magnetic sheet to fit in my stamp cases. And I do include the label or the packaging for the dies in the case as well, so I know how many dies. So like for this example, there's 9 dies in this particular set. That way I can kind of keep track of them and know if I'm missing any. Sometimes I used to outline them with the white chalk so I can know if I'm missing one, but hopefully I just remember to put them away right away when I use them. That way I won't lose any. But this way I keep my stamps and my dies together, so whenever I'm using them in a project, I can find everything. Something else that I do, that I've been starting to do anyway, is whenever I receive my dies, I go ahead and cut out all of the dies so I know what they look like. So I've cut them out and put them on this cardstock that I store in the case as well, so I can see exactly how big things are and how they come out. And I stamp the items and cut them out so I know which dies go with the stamped images as well. And then if I happen to cut out any extras on a project and I don't use them, then I store them in here as well. So I store all of it in the same container. That way I can find anything whenever I need to. Now, like I said, I probably do this about 90 or 95% of the time. Occasionally I will not purchase the whole bundle, or if the dies are not necessarily exclusive to that stamp set, I will store them in an inexpensive scrapbook album. So here I did not purchase the Halloween stamp set that went with these ornate frames. So I've just put them in a sleeve here, so you can see I can just slide them out. I say that. Slide them out whenever I want to use them. And I have the packaging information in there again, so I know how many dies there are. And, oops. And I store them in there like that. Here's an example. These are the stitch nested dies, and they actually came in a bundle with the Bird Ballot stamp set, but I see I can use these particular dies with numerous stamp sets and not just that one, and so I keep them then here in this album. That way, whenever I'm using any stamp set, I can go to these dies. Here's the Tiny Keepsake. Again, they came with a coordinating stamp set. I did not purchase that one, but you can tell that you can absolutely use this without the stamp set. This is the Beautiful Bows dies, and I just did purchase the dies and not the stamp set with that one, so that's why that's here. And then this is my current favorite set of dies. These are the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and they came in a bundle with a sentiment set, which I do have and I love, but I can totally see using these with all of my stamp sets, so that's why I put it here in this scrapbook album. And so I just store this on my shelf, and so I can get it out whenever I am making projects. Now, I don't want you to think that I don't have very many dies. I have a very old, oh my goodness, I have a very old 8x8 scrapbook that I have my retired ones. I don't remember if any of you have been around for a while, you remember these flip cards. I have a bunch of them. I have my envelope liners. I've got a ton of retired. Oh, I've also got my layering circles and my layering squares and my, I think I have my stitched shapes dies in here as well. I might relocate those to the other one, but anyway, I've been using this for years, but it was just getting a little too big and bulky, so that's why I purchased the new smaller 6x6 album. Actually, it was on sale, which is why I bought this particular book. But anyway, that's how I store my dies, and so I just thought that I would share that with you and see if that worked for your storage needs. There are numerous other ways that you can store your products. Lots of people have videos on Stampin' storage and things like that. That's a little bit too pricey for me. I don't have the budget for that, so I found that this works out quite well for me, so I hope it works for you as well. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.